There's a committee that meets 8 times a year in Washington, 19 people around a table. And when they change one number, your rent changes. Your credit card changes. Whether your company hires next year, changes. You've heard the name 1,000 times, the Fed. Nobody ever drew you what it actually does. Stay with me, because once you see the dial, headlines about rates stop being noise and start being a weather forecast for your money. Easy, breathe. Watch this. First, the strangest true thing in finance: money has a price. Not what money buys, what money costs. When a bank borrows money, it pays interest. That interest is the price of money itself. And the Fed controls the faucet where that price starts. The rate banks charge each other overnight at the very top of the river. The Fed doesn't set your mortgage. It sets the rate your mortgage flows down from. Turn the dial up and every loan downstream gets more expensive. Cards, cars, houses, business loans. Turn it down and money gets cheap. Loans flow, companies build, hiring spikes. One dial upstream of everything. Why would anyone turn the dial up and make everyone's life expensive on purpose? Because the Fed is stuck babysitting two things that hate each other: prices and jobs. Dial down. Jobs boom, but too much cheap money chasing goods makes prices climb. Dial up. Prices calm down, but companies stop borrowing, stop building, stop hiring. There is no setting where everybody wins. The job is choosing which pain and when. And one time, the dial went to a place nobody's forgotten. 1979, American prices are rising 14% a year. Your dollar loses a seventh of itself every year, savings melting like ice on a counter. A new Fed chairman comes in, Paul Volcker, 6'7", cheap cigars, and he does the unthinkable. He cranks the dial all the way. The rate banks paid touched 20%. Mortgage rates crossed 18%. The country screamed. Home builders mailed him pieces of 2x4 lumber, bits of the houses they couldn't build. Car dealers mailed him the keys of cars nobody could finance. Farmers drove their tractors into Washington and circled the Fed's building. One dial turned by one committee, and the whole economy howled. But hold the drawing on that lumber for a second, because those 2x4s are the honest picture of what the dial does. When money gets expensive, the loan doesn't happen. So the house doesn't get built, so the builder doesn't get paid, so the paycheck never exists. That chain, that exact chain, is what the committee is steering, not abstractions, lumber. And then it worked. Painfully, brutally. Within a few years, 14% inflation fell to around 3%. The ice stopped melting. The price was 2 recessions and a generation of 18% mortgages. And economists argue to this day about the trade. But nobody ever argued again about whether the dial is real. Turn the canvas. You thought interest rates were just another price that happens to you, like gas or groceries. Look at the drawing again. Every other price in your life is downstream of this one. The rate on your card didn't come from your bank. It came from the dial, plus your bank's markup. Your company's hiring freeze didn't start in HR. It started in a meeting room in Washington, 8 Tuesdays a year. Gas prices move one product. The dial moves the price of money, which moves everything money touches. Which is everything. It has a name. The rate dial. The Fed doesn't set your rate. It sets the rate your rate comes from. It's not the price of things. It's the price of money. And listen, no committee of 19 is reading your file. Nobody there knows your name, your card, your rent. That's what makes it feel so strange. The most personal numbers in your life are being steered by people solving a completely different problem. A national tug of war between prices and jobs. Not a conspiracy, a thermostat. For the whole house, not your room. I can't tell you where rates go next. No one can, and anyone who says otherwise is selling a newsletter. But here's the one look that changes the news forever. Next time a headline says, Fed raises rates or Fed cuts, don't ask what it means for Washington. Ask which side of the tug of war they just chose, prices or jobs. That's the entire message, every time. You'll never read those headlines the same way again. That feeling that your rent and your card rate come from nowhere? They come from somewhere. One room, one dial. 8 Tuesdays a year. See the machine. Don't be the fuel. We draw one machine a week. The next one is already on the board.